Excellent, I'm live. Okay. Now, as I said before I went live for the 0 people that are in the chat, I do want to introduce a project today. And this project we're going to be working on for a few class periods in class. It's a little more on the research end of, oh, yeah, there he is. It's more along the lines of the research end of sports. Now, what's going to end up happening is this. I am going to, in a little bit, randomly place you into groups. Now, unfortunately, obviously, we can't just, go into a corner and actually converse there, but there are some open desks where you can kind of sit 6 feet from each other. So to kind of maintain that social distancing. Obviously, there are some people who are not here, but they will still be assigned into groups. Now, as you clearly know, there are a couple people who are on my roster who just flat out have not shown up at all this year. Those people I have taken into account in terms of the randomness. And we'll talk about that once I get the randomness up there. I'm going to split you up into groups, and then we're going to have a little bit of a quizzes competition to determine who ends up getting first pick of the topics of this project. Yes. Now, this project is known as the Unusual Sports Project, in which I have a list of 9 unusual sports that you are going to research. And actually, let me show you the different things that you're going to look into. Not the names of the sports just yet. It's a bit more advanced than that. It's a bit more advanced than what you're thinking. How about this? Let me just show you what you're going to be researching, and then let me show you the names of said sports. Actually, you know what? No, I can't give you the name of said sports because you're going to have an unfair advantage. But hold on. Trust me when I say you've pretty much, almost all of you have never heard of any of these sports. So, what you're going to be looking into is the historical background of said sport. You're going to be looking into the rules of the game of said sport, the scoring, the equipment, what type of competitions they have, the popularity / exposure of said sport, your own thoughts, general discussion about it, and what are the possibilities of the future of said sport. Now, when I talk about the equipment and the rules of the game, is this played on a field? What are the dimensions of said field? Are there periods? Are there quarters? Like, what's going on with this thing? How long do they last for? Things of that nature. You're going to be doing a deep dive into a sport that, like I said, I guarantee you've probably never heard of. But that's the type of stuff that you're going to be researching. Now, like I said, I am going to be randomly splitting you up into groups. And obviously with fantasy football, that was one thing. I mean, there were some people whose partners just either dropped the class or stopped showing up altogether. Anyway, but I've taken that into account in regards to the randomness here. So in order to kind of do this, first I'm going to split you up into those groups. Now what I've done here is I just cut and paste from the roster all of your names into random.org into a list. Now, I've removed, even though he's on my roster, I removed Davon because, well, yeah, I know. And I've removed Lewis as well because I have not seen the kid since he hasn't shown up at all. He hasn't responded to anything. But anyway, he's still on my roster. So I took him out of this list. Now, I'm still going to put both of them on a group. All of these groups will be groups of 2 with the exception of a couple. And I'll show you how I'm going to split that up. Once I click random on this thing, because I haven't clicked random just yet, but once I click random on this thing, it will randomly list all of your names in order from 1 to 19. And the way that I'm going to split these groups up is basically like 2 at a time, 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 and then there'll be a group of 3. And then I will put Davon and Lewis in a group just in case they happen to show up. Which, I don't know, do you really think they will? Yeah. Well, if they do, they'll still be assigned to a group. So, now, after I put you into your groups, we are going to have a quizzes competition to determine who gets the first pick of the unusual sports, because I have a list of 9 that you're going to choose from. And the topic of said quizzes is going to be picked by our fantasy football champions. There you go. You just looked up at me. Thank you. You know. So, you guys get to pick. No, obviously you don't pick it now because we're not there yet. But you get to pick the topic of the quizzes, and then I'm just going to go down the list in the quizzes because everyone's going to compete individually in the quizzes. But I'm just going to go down the list like, okay, whoever ends up first, that group gets number 1 pick, and then so forth and so on. We'll go from there. So first, let me get you into your groups. And of course, I'm going to be posting this on Google Classroom for those who are not here today and not tuned in. But I have all of your names here, you can see. I have all of your names right here. And I'm going to randomly split this. And remember, I will. Remember, the order that it shows up in, I'm just going to go, okay, 1 and 2, partners. 3 and 4, partners, etc. Chapow, chaboom. There's the list of 19. I'm going to take a picture of that, but first let me split that up. The way that it's going to be split up, first we got a group there. 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 And now this is going to be a group of 3. That's going to be a group of 3. Now, as I said, now that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 groups for the 9 unusual sports that I have. You'll see. I don't want you researching the sports just yet, but first, let's see. So I said that for, well, even though again I don't know if they're going to show up or not, but for Lewis and for Davon, I'm just going to put them into a group. So I'll just put Lewis right here. Misspelled Lewis. Sorry. And Davon. There we go. So let me take a picture of this. Let me take a picture of this. So I'm going to put this on Google Classroom eventually so people know exactly what groups they are in. There we go. So that is set in stone so I don't lose that. I don't have to type anything. I just have it right there. Cool. And now we have our competition to see who gets first pick. Do you guys have a topic that you would like to do for quizzes? Keeping in mind, whatever topic you end up picking, I'm going to try and pick a quiz that's somewhere between 10 and 15 questions. And I'm not going to know whether or not the questions are like legitimate or not. You can pick any topic you want because this is just the competition for who gets first pick in unusual sports. And of course, those of you in the live stream, of course, you will be able to compete as well. Either you pick or I do. Sure. Just in general?
Yeah. Dude, Chris, you're the one. Bro, you should have won those games. You always have your fingers right.
Now I'm gonna turn off redemption questions.
No.
Yes. Yes. Gosh. Come on. Anyway, continue. And for those of you in the live stream going to be joining us, I need to put the code into the chat. 720573. Boom. There we go. So there's the code for those of you in the live stream. I just put the code into the live chat so you could see it there and join. Now, again, just so you guys know, obviously we have to stay social distance. So once we get things started with the actual research into the unusual sports, you and your partner or partners can create, or one of you can create a Google Doc and have it shared with each other where you can kind of cut and paste information, do like an information dump. You guys have done that in like what, English class and whatnot? Never done information dumps? All right, whatever. But you're going to be just finding anything that you can. Today is just a fact-finding mission on some of those ideas that I talked about in regards to your unusual sport. But we'll deal with that the closer we get. Got 9 people in so far. Now, I didn't look at these questions except for the first one. So it seems pretty legit, whatever these questions are. If the questions are out of date, that's not on me. You know what I'm saying? Out of date? Yeah. 12 of you in here. Still waiting for you to log on. And while you guys are doing this, I'm going to write down the group names so I can figure out who ends up getting which pick. Cool. Now, as I said, I'm going to get this thing started. If you're not logged in yet, the code, it will be at the top of the screen. So you could still access that even though the game has started. So I'm going to click start so you can get started with this. But if you haven't logged in yet, the code will be at the top of the screen. And for those of you in the live chat, it's right there in the chat. That code's 720573. Okay. Here we go. I don't know who this is. Someone's going to have to claim that one later. Are there other people that got to come off that list?
One wrong. We should high key do this one. Do basketball one.
Who is this?
Bro, I come in last. I got 2 questions wrong.
Well, not last.
Guys, when I put this, when I post this,
All right, so while the quiz is finishing up, let me figure out number 1 pick. Who is Mr. Pollock? Your fantasy football partner?
are you kidding me?
Let's see. That's pick 2. That's pick 3. That's pick 4. Oh, I gotta get back there in a minute.
Let's go. At least my part pull through.
Come on. Scroll down. Okay, skipping 2 results in 1. There it goes. Okay, so hold on.
My team won. Yeah, I think
So I got
my team
4.
picks.
There's pick 5. There's pick 6. There is pick 7. And there's pick 8 and pick 9. Okay. So, like I said, now here's going to be the deal. Here's going to be the deal. Temporarily, close your Chromebooks.
Oh no. Well, what did I do?
Temporarily close your Chromebooks. I have the order of the picks, but I want you to have the Chromebooks closed for when I show you the names of those sports, so you don't have an unfair advantage. I know. So, here are the names of said sports that you are going to be researching.
Bro, you're weird. Fistball? Fistball. It's like when you it's like only with Scotch.
Oh wait, I'm missing one here. Hold on. Oh no. Let me double check something real quick, because I think I'm missing one. Because it's frozen there. Go back to here, go back to here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see. I got that one. I got that. Oh yeah, that. Wait. Yeah, it's missing one of them. Copy. I know it's there. Hold on. Unfreeze. There it is. So just so you know, I gotta lower the. There it is. That's one sport right there. There we go. So these are the 9 sports. It was just it was messed up right here. This is one sport right here. You have kabaddi, hesapalo, octopus. These are real sports. Not in the United States, really, but fistball. Yeah, I know. Wow. Sepak takraw. Baseball. Bo taichi. Buzkashi. And korfball. Nice. Now, you don't know what these sports are, I'm assuming. Believe it or not, I actually found out from Liston that a couple of years ago, somebody actually knew about one of these sports. I'm not going to tell you which one it was, but I do have the PowerPoint that the person made. Now, while you're thinking about what sports you may end up wanting to research, let me just tell you that we're going to begin the research today in class. Like I said, you're creating a Google Doc to share with your partners or partner and do information dump onto there just to kind of get as much information as possible in regards to the topics, which I'll bring up again in a little bit. This is ultimately leading to a brief presentation that you will do for your class. This brief presentation being roughly 10 minutes. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. About 3 of those minutes, you can show a video demonstrating what your sport is. Yeah. You are going to be creating a PowerPoint, kind of going through it point by point, what your sport is, and answering those questions that I mentioned before in regards to your topic. But we'll get there. So let's just go through piece by piece. I'm going to mark down what everyone picks. So first pick, Guarino and Pollock. Just beat him up.
Yeah, if you guys take fistball, you're correct.
Okay. What are you picking? Fistball? Okay. They're picking fistball. Nice. So hold on. Let me actually go over here and eliminate that from the list. So can I strike that thing out? There it is. Boom. Fistball gone. All right. Second pick, Buka Huang. Nice. Bo Taoshi.
Is that a good one?
We'll see. Now, as you're picking them, make sure you make note of it because I'm going to be removing this from the screen in a little bit. Strike through. There we go. Third pick, Tully and Quinn. Tully's not here today. Oh, he's picking Bossa Ball. Bossa Ball's gone. Boom. Okay. Fourth pick, Del Percio. And, well, Icky's, but he's not here. Octopush. Octopush. Cool. Fifth pick, Cernansky, Baker, DeSanto. Corf ball. Corf ball. All right. Sixth pick, Pringle Snowden. I think so, but it may or may not. You can obviously Google search it, you know. What? Kabaddi. Hold on, where are you? Kabaddi. Strike through. There we go. Seventh pick, Alan DeLeo. There you go. Pesapayo. Eighth pick, and this actually will determine the last group as well. Magi Hare. You only got 2 picks. Bushkazi. Uthkashi. Which means by default, Riser, Cogliano. Wow. Get Sapak Takra. Now, as a note for some of you, not all of them, but I think at least one of these sports, I don't remember which one, there is some disturbing imagery with the way that the game is played. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Be careful with your Google searches. Now, what you're going to be researching, as I said right here, you are going to be researching the historical background. I'm gonna post this. I'm gonna make a PDF out of this and put this on Google Classroom with the group names and stuff like that. or and the topics. But you're going to be researching historical background, the rules of the game, the scoring that takes place, the equipment. Now, the equipment could be the things that you're using, could also be the field that you're playing on, things of that nature. Competitions, popularity and exposure of said sport, your thoughts and a general discussion on that information, and what are the possibilities of the future of said sport. So, I would like you to begin that research now. I am going to be, like I said, creating a PDF of this and putting this on Google Classroom in a few minutes, along with the names of people in their sports. But we'll get that thing going. Now, this is interesting. As I said at the beginning, oh, you weren't here. You were out of the room for a few minutes at the beginning of class. This is going to be kind of an ongoing thing for the next several class periods. We're going to work on this mainly, not completely, but mainly in class. So, with your partner, start with a Google Doc and just kind of do like information dump. What do you find on the sport? That kind of thing. And then you can kind of organize it and sift through it later. Right now, today is about what the heck is the sport that I just picked, or my group just picked, I should say. What kind of information can we find on it? You can even possibly find some YouTube videos on it. Let's go. Here, I'll put this right here. Oh, I can't see it. Hold on. I can't really see it. Yeah. Yeah, give me a sec. Take this. What is today? You are like so into your sport right now. I'm researching it for 5 seconds. There you go. Well, keep in mind, it's about research. You're doing information dumps. So you're not just showing like 10 minutes of a YouTube video. You could show like 2 to 3 minutes of a YouTube video in your presentation. So let's see here. I'm posting them in a few minutes. Just got to get them typed. There you go.
That's fair, bro. You know, bro, that's cute. Yeah, they got waves. I give them waves. Yeah. I need to quickly write it down. Next one. I just be doing other things. I want careful.
All right. So just so you guys know, in Google Classroom, in the stream, I just made an ungraded assignment that has no due date. And it basically has all of the partner listings and the sport that I assigned your group. I'm going to eventually, actually, what did I attach to that? Yes, and I attached to it the PDF. I'll show you here. The PDF of the things that you are going to be researching in regards to your sport. So that you can see that right there. If you viewed the assignment on your Google Classroom, you can see your partner, you can see the sport that you were assigned, and the PDF of what you're going to be doing your initial research on. So it's all right there.
What day is it today?
Today is Thursday, the 7th. That's a B day.
I need you. I don't know.
What did I just do?
You know, boot fest real quick. What? It's the Samsung one. You got a small ass little bitch. You get the little ones. Wait, is it different yours from yours? Bro, I'm getting so bad. period end at 9:20?
24. It ends at 24.
You can want my late pass.
Oh, you're good. It shows up in the computer. Oh, this was the late just coming to class, not to school, right?
Yeah.
I got you. I got you. I
I
got
was
you.
in office.
I got you.
All I'm saying is me and Matt went all you guys. Me and my boy Matt went all.
All right. Real quick before we finish up for today. On. Listen. Shh, shh, shh. The intent of this project is not for you to do a ton of research outside of class. I'm going to have certain checkpoints along the way for you that you're going to be doing, again, in class. So don't worry about, oh, do I have to do this? Do I have to have this ready? Blah, blah, blah. You'll do it in the classroom, and we'll have those checkpoints along the way. So just make sure you bring your Chromebooks and make sure that they are charged before we get here. Now, there are going to be other things that we're going to be doing slightly at the beginning of each class period. So I'm not going to be giving you like a full 60 minutes every day you come in here to research, but you will have a little chunk of time as you had similar to today. That's about 2 minutes, minute and a half to the end of the class period. I'm going to sign off on the live stream. But just don't line up at my door because then you'd be congregating within 6 feet of each other. You jerks.